Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to the very first training room tourney. This is going to be a very happy little BRAWLHALLA tournament this afternoon. We're going to find out who can be the first training room champion. And, well, what's the point? We're just going to have a bit of fun, you know? I really appreciate just the sort of more casual kind of BRAWLHALLA tournaments where we just play around, just because BRAWLHALLA is just such a novel little game to a great deal many people. I think our first match for the afternoon, we're going to get straight into it. No ad breaks or anything like that. We're going to join a lobby for our first matchup, which is going to be Senor Safs and Elfiek.
Custom.
There we go. And I'm going to change to the other overlay real quick. There we go. There's the technology we got right there. So we've got Senor Safs, aka Senor Soup, with the Cassidy, very vintage pick, Cassidy, but seeing a lot of more play recently. Blasters have been getting some love in these last couple of patches. And people are starting to wake up to this weapon actually is kind of good, maybe. And Elfiek with the very classic Val pick. Gauntlets being good forever. Sword being on maybe a bit of a rough spot right now. Got some nerfs in recent patches, especially around D-Light. It's not as threatening as it used to be. But we're going to go to our first game to Small Fortress of Lions. Quite a neutral stage. Nice and flat. It's got just a single platform that moves around. So gives opportunities for both players to make some plays. But here we go. This is the very first game of our new format. It was the jockey for mission. Elfiek gets the first weapon. It's going to be Gauntlets, which do excel very well with that kind of keep away game. Let's see, with the blasters. Elfiek pushes the weapon toss. Gets this a nice little combo to begin with. And even throws into weapon tosses as well. Very nice stuff. Now we're getting to the more sort of neutral space. Very classic option to weapon throw down from the platform. Just covers so much space below you. So Soup gets a nice high dare. Nearly finds that D-sig there. Trying to shoot up with a dare. Catches that side sig perfectly with the downlight. So threatening going off stage. But then baits it out. Elfiek gets the side sig on stage. Doesn't have the spiking angle, but still is very good. And catches the tail end of that side sig as well. Elfiek securing the first stock of the training room tourney. Going cheeky with that side sig. Like, that would have been really quite bad if that hit. But Single getting around it. Finding a D-Light there. Just tackling on some extra damage. Getting a lot of mileage with these D-Lights very early on. With the hammer there. Hammer being quite a difficult weapon to find your openings with. Let's see if Senor Soup can find it. Finds the side sig off the stage though, and the weapon toss to secure. Snipes them out. And it's 3 stocks to 1. But let's see, can Senor Soup at least tie things up? Well, not tie things up, bring things back 2 to 1. Trying to find a dare, trying to find a D-Light. D-Light would be nice. Doesn't quite get set, but reads the jump on stage. Still going for the very low recovery, but Elfiek going even lower to try and counter that. Nearly finds the cheeky ground pound, but not quite. Elfiek with the pretty good response of a nice dare to stuff at the recovery. And that is game 1, going the way of Elfiek. Well done, Elfiek, for coming out on top on that one. Let me just update the stream overlay real quick as we go immediately into game 2. There were no rest breaks on this. I think I was looking away for a sec, but I think we might have had a character swap, a double character swap even. Senor Soup playing the Ember, completely different character, no shared weapons. Elfiek also trying out a completely different legend setup as well, but that's alright, because we're going to have a little bit of fun here, you know. try out some legends maybe you don't normally pick. Like Ember, of course, you know, being good for like pretty much all of Brawlhalla. Never quite reached the sort of highest parts of the esports brackets due to sort of her low defense being the biggest part of that. But we do have a Bow Mirror coming up here. Soup finding the cheeky and the double cheeky ground pound. There's no way. Oh, goes away for the third one, but Elfiet correctly predicts that and goes in. We're just trading ground pounds here because the Bow ground pound being one of the most punishing moves in the game. Probably one of the highest falls in neutral. Ground pound on stage is a wacky option. Ember Boomstick actually got a buff, I believe, last patch to the force on it. One of the most inexplicable patch notes I've ever seen in all time in Brawlhalla. It's one of the best signatures in the game. Everyone's known it for years. If it was attached to a more meta character, Ember would be dominating. It isn't. We might see a D-Stick hit. No! Goes all the way down for that ground pound. Oh, but perfectly spot dodges Elfix's return ground pound, but does eat the side stick. Right to the face. That was quite a zany first stock. A lot of quite novel options coming out here. But you gotta find out. Sends it with the ground pound on stage, picks up some guitars. Might struggle a bit to find the KO here. Good spot dodge of the ground pound. Oh, but gets scooped though. Dodged the first one. But a second attack just comes up so quickly. Like, and we are now once again D-Stock to 1. But I believe in Soup. Like, the bow has good. Oh, going for the weapon toss dynamite into anything is gaudy, but it's a good option. Oh, outspaces the side thing with a dash back. Tries to find the turn around it. Going for the ground pound in, but Soup stays wide this time. Dodges the dare there. Oh, but gets the dash jump ground pound. And that is going to be game 2. Okay. Of course, welcome to the stream, Fog, and Tamo. Not all the games are going to be streamed. I'm going to do one streamed game per round, just to sort of keep things moving. Maybe when we get to sort of top 4, I'll just stream them all. But for now, we're just going to do one stream from round 1. Okay, as we go into game 3 of our best of 5 situation here. Let me just skip through. Soup with the third character swap here. We're going to see a Thatch coming out. Thatch is a lot of fun to watch in Brawlhalla. Not a lot of defense, similar to Ember actually in a lot of ways. But we're back on the blasters. The sort of tried and true here. Probably saw the most success in the set seen before. So, and of course, Thatch D-Sig is a sound that we can all remember. By just it's quite iconic even. So I have no doubts that we'll be seeing a couple of those coming out over the course of this set. Elfie are taking a little bit of time to think about their next character, their next legend, sorry, for this set. We of course, I mean, you couldn't really predict it, right? Val into Yumiko is an initiative, and we have like the vintage here, Fenrir Mordex with, I believe that's Esports V1, I think? I forget. There's too many sick colours in Brawlhalla to remember them all. Like, and we're going to go into an interesting map choice. We've got a triplat going on here with small terminus. Though it can help. It can sort of give people some like some breathing room, some place to escape to, and of course, slide charging signatures of these platforms is of course always incredibly funny. Like a novel gambit, the grab cancel breakdance, but LFX stays back this time. Soup equipping with the sword, going for the crisp little grab stick. LFX side players have a game plan in mind, and that is approach with dare, because it's such a good option for Scythe. It opens up so many things, and of course seeing more of the gauntlets, which saw so much success in game 1 with some nice extensions. Good chase logic back to stage to avoid LFX ground pound. Nearly punishes that side stick, but unfortunately dashes back into the neutralite to punish. Comes the D-Sig. Oh, the signatures stacked together. Wants to dash back away from the side sig, but the side sig is very long. It'll catch you no matter how far you dash back. Go to another side sig. Oh, good punish. With another big dance, and there it was. There is our first D-Sig of the game. Oh, another one to go back to stage. That was close. That was good. I thought that ground ball was gonna go straight past. I'm surprised it hit, but Elfiek let it go in order to get the slightly extended hitbox in order to get that hit. Like a D-Sig off stage, but alas, it's not the right weapon. Thatcher's sword signatures are a bit more tricky to use. Oh, lovely dare! And oh, but the nair to return back and nearly gets the ground ball and goes for another dare on top of that. There's no more. This nearly gets a nair. Ludicrous offstage interaction there. Little pinball going on. Off the side of the stage. I'm pretty sure both players died at least twice during that. But sometimes you just gotta come back. Gets a Sair and sets up the edge guard position. But a little too presumptuous on the ground pound. Oh, nearly reads that jump. But the recovery sounds like a stage. We switch back to the sword. Down at recovery is going to be the more obvious cook from here, or just a raw signature attack. Could work out. But we come with the neutral light. Oh, they're both 2 spot dodges in a row. These defensive nairs have been getting some of the people a lot of mileage from what would be very perilous situations. Elfiek is just going to build up damage. Oh, I guess the side stage off side of the stage, but it's not quite enough. But we're now both in the red. If that ground ball was just slightly off or over, that would have been really nice. Elfiek goes really deep off stage, tough spot, but just about space the options in order to get back. And is looking at that KO confirm. Like the D-Sig. Oh, and the D-Sig, the double D-Sig. You thought you avoided one of them, but there's always a happy little second D-Sig. These cannons do not stop. Gets those D-Light into the set, nearly finds another D-Light. It doesn't get punished for it. A third D-Light. For reference, D-Light is quite a difficult move to hit. You have to get in just the correct stack position. Nearly gets a 4th one. If you turn around there, that would have been quite lovely. Oh, but gets the weapon toss. One option left to come back stage. Oh, but then that's a tough spot. It's a tough spot there. The only option left is to chase dodge up, and if the other player can read that, then it can be a free ground pound. But that is it. That is the end of the set. Well done, Elfiek, for winning the first set of the training room tourney. That was quite a lot of fun. Thank you, Tamo, for the follow as well. The very first follow of this channel. Hopefully, hit the first of many. So that is match 1. You'll need to report your scores, and let's go check out the bracket real quick so we can figure out what our next game is going to be. Let's just get this back. Good evening, all. Let's have a look. The training room. Here we go. Here's the bracket. So we're going through our first round matches. I think we have our other match played this round was Oleg faced off against Frog. That match went in a 3-1 to Oleg. Well done, Oleg. Moving on to round 2 of winners, and I think we once all the match reports come in, we'll move on to our next round, which I think will be we'll probably do the upper round of 16 next, just because some players didn't play the first round, so we'll make sure everyone gets their match in. So I'll go through and start these now. So we can start getting some more Brawlhalla replayed. Make sure to ready up, of course. I think I'll have to close some matches now for those that didn't quite make it here on the day. Yes, I think we'll go through and do that now, which is a lot of the round 1 matches, so we can move on to round 2. Let's just go through that real quick. But yes, I will go make those changes, and I'll see you back for round 2. Right, welcome back all for round 2 of the training room tourney. I think we're going to drop in with one of our round 2 matches, which should be the matchup of Afasi and Kokobu. I'm going to go with. Let's quit out of that lobby. We should be this one. Oops, I pasted too quickly. Yeah, there we go. We'll join this now. So I believe this is during game 1. So let me switch to the next overlay. There we go. We have Fasi versus Kokobu. We have another Mordex on our screens. Of course, being the most popular character in BRAWLHALLA, very expected. And Fate, who's been seeing a bit of a resurgence recently. A lot of top players have been picking up Fate. The Orb's been in a really good spot right now. Players like Radish have been taking the Orb to many places. It's just incredibly solid, racks up damage, super reliably, and gets kills even more than that. With exactly that sequence right there, the Silex there. Fate, of course, having access to Orb Nutrisig, which is one of the best Nutrisigs in the game, probably only behind Emberbone Nutrisig that we saw a bit of earlier. And we're now down to our second stocks. It's going to be high percent. Gets a lovely side off the stage. And the dunk as well on top. And the web toss goes for one more down air, which is slightly too much. Kokobu going for the down air off the wall, which is a super fierce option. Just covers the entire wall. Makes it really difficult to recover back. Especially on this stage towards ends where the side walls are very, very wide. So it makes it very difficult to come back. But Kokobu takes the second stock, and Afasi will be looking to even things up, which I think Afasi will. So Gauntlet's having some good kill confirms, mostly that recovery. A D-Sig would definitely get knocked out there. That doesn't quite do. The weapon lost down. The longest charge on the Nutrisig you've probably ever seen. You never know. You never know. Like, in for penny, you might as well hold it out the whole way. Gets the sidelight, but doesn't quite get the read. Gets a day into the stage, but that's not going to kill probably forever. Gets a Neutralite, but doesn't quite find this Neutralite follow-up for that. Kokobu getting lots more extra credits on this, which is one of the really dominant parts of having an orb in your kit, which is that the Scythe is nice, but being able to just press sidelights and get the knockout is really quite invaluable. As Afasi finally gets the Scythe there and ties up the stock counts, but has fallen quite far behind. One good Scythe string could do it, but not quite that. The Fate Scythe Nutrisig off the ground, catching the landing, the overshoot there with the turnaround, and secures game 1. I should probably just double check. Okay, gonna get a. Yeah. Cool. There we go. So we're gonna get straight back into the second match. Temo looks like your opponent is there. I'll sort that out after the after this round ends. I'll forward any disqualifiers didn't quite turn up. So we have a swap off of the Mordex. The Gauntlets, they were doing good, but they weren't able to provide the weapon synergy that a lot of characters quite need. It's all right building up all the damage, but how are you going to get that KO? The sword will do really good at that, as well with most weapons, D-Light being the main opener. You can get a cover of that, you can get a sail off that, depending on your positioning. It's just super flexible, and actually goes in with the sword, which is an interesting one. Sword, it does an alright job at edge guarding, but that ground pound was a super good guess. But the Fasi just fast falls just low enough, not get hit by that, but still in quite an awkward spot off stage in order to make it back. Let me just update the score real quick. But yes, there we go. Okay, so the question, but Kobu opening up with a lot of scythe damage early on, and looking for that KO on the scythe as well. Oh, but Afasi gets a lovely little Nutrisig to catch Kobu to stage. Nearly finds the extra long space D-Sig for that. Barely doesn't quite connect that side stick. The spot dodge doing overtime to avoid that one. and we go back to neutral. But a Sair, which is just that orb difference. Sair being super quick and super knockout power as well, can just find those KOs super duper easy. But Afasi, with the swords, looking to build that last bit of damage, nearly gets the whole dribble combo to secure the KO. Unfortunately, the Nushasig doesn't quite. Oh, Kokobu goes out for that double dare as well. Can Afasi make it back? Not quite. Like, I'm sure most people would have thought that combo would have ended at the first dare, but no. Like, Kokobu kept going. Like, Afasi taking a little moment there just to think about that little combo, gets a nice dare off stage. But Afasi goes wide to avoid the inward-facing dare. So makes it back on stage, gets the very tail end of that sword dare. If that was the whole swipe, that might have come through. Afasi threatens off stage and backs up, picks up the scythe, and gets the max distance D-Sig to secure the first KO, but is quite a ways behind. It's, of course, this is still scythe, and this is still BRAWLHALLA. It's make backable, but Kokobu getting the reads instead, sending Afasi off stage. Afasi makes it back. Perhaps wanted to jump there for that downlight. Kokobu coming back on stage with a nice little side air, and just looking for orb moves, basically. Been finding just so much success on the ground, catching landings, and just basically hitting Afasi, and finds a lovely little orb neutral sig with the celebrated D-Light just for effect. As we go straight into game 3 with Kokobu up 2-0, and we have another legend swap from Afasi, this time to the Wushang. We're going back to the gauntlets, but with the spear, which does a good job at keeping range, which is a different tempo for this set. But we'll see how the spear does. The gauntlets are, of course, always looking good. Just get some little hands on them real quick. But yes, so let's start things off with some gimmick. Afasi push off stage, but gets the perfect little nair that picks up on stage, but yet sends off stage. Doesn't quite get too much on it. Kokobu burning the grab cancel there, but Afasi not quite in the position to get a punish. Oh, barely doesn't clip that recovery going back on stage. Kokobu going for D-Sig, but Afasi was out the way. Lands, gets a neutral light, and the whip toss as well. The question is, can Afasi get those side lights, which is what the spear gameplay really was on. There's one, gets the nair in, but nair is a tough move. Goes up for the recovery, but Kokobu finds the counter hit recovery to secure the first stock. Okay, as we go back to the gauntlets, Afasi getting a nice little 3-piece with the orb. Okay, the neutral sig not quite coming through. Another side light. These sort of side light nairs barely stays within that D-Sig. Any other positioning, and that would have just outright hit, which would be nice. But Afasi going up for the recovery, but Kokobu coming down. Try to call out a hasty edge guard in, but Kokobu stays back and decisive. Get another neutral light, but neutral light doesn't quite lead up too much at this damage. Kokobu guarding the weapon, knowing that Afasi was, well, unarmed and really wanted to come in there. Afasi taking another little moment just to use themselves. Might be coming back. Kokobu very kindly giving them a moment, perhaps to check their internet connection, check their buttons. We'll find out as we, well, just have a look here. Think about what. Okay, and Afasi is back. Back and ready to play this last game. Gets the weapon toss. Really does not want those gauntlets. Wants the spear. It makes sense. D-Light Sair is going to be a good kill confirm, but Kokobu is just coming in with these relentless orb attacks. Lots of side lights. Side nair. It's just getting so much mileage. Not even side light Sair, but let's push the D-Sig right in Afasi's face, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what either you are. Doesn't matter where in bracket we are. That is a premier punish, especially with the unarmed kit, to secure that knockout. Now Afasi coming back with some gauntlet strings, gets the grab cancel D-Light into the net and off stage, which is quite fine much format. Gets a nice little D-Light, no side lights, just the pure D-Light, calling out that Kokobu will be aerial, which in fairness is how a lot of orb is played. But Kokobu comes in and calls out a Fassie's jump and gets the neutral sig instead, which again, one of the best neutral sigs in the game. And that is that. Like, well done, Kokobo, for taking the second set of the training room tourney. That was nice. That was a nice game. Like, well done both. As we check out what that does with the rest of the bracket, let's cut back to this one. There we go. So yeah, that was winners round 2, and let's go progress some more matches. I think up next will be some of our first eliminations matches for well, at least for those that turned up, of course. Though I will go sort that out, and we will be right back. Right, there we go. Welcome back all, as we might be doing the losers round of 16. Though, to be honest, I think pretty much everyone down here, didn't ready up at the start of the tournament. So I think we'll give it a couple minutes, and we'll see if any matches actually do start from there. Otherwise, we'll continue with what will be the. I guess we can do the losers round of 8. I think next, just since we've had we haven't quite had any action from the elimination side of the bracket quite yet. But yeah, this is for now. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. As I guess we sort of can wait, but yeah, sure. I'll be back in a couple minutes once we see how that exactly goes. Right, there we go, and we are back. I went through some of the rounds in the elimination brackets. A lot of DQs down there. So I think our next game will be in the upper quarterfinals, the sort of top side of top 8, which I guess we can have a top 8 in a bracket of this size. I think that's fine. Let me just get this fixed up real quick, and then we should be ready to go. That should not say top 8. And for our match in top 8, we're going to be having Oleg versus, I'm going to go with Timox, but let me know if that's not quite the way I would say the one, because of course we're about doing things properly around here. So yes, that one is that. So let me get this set up real quick. This will be Oleg versus. There we go. And let me reset the scores, and we should be good to go. Right, cool. And last thing, of course, is to join the lobby real quick. There we go. There we go. Right, and here we are. No. There we go. Cool. No. And we are now live. Good to go. Feel free to start your games. Timox on the Rayman to start off with, which is, well, it's always been quite a popular pick. Most popular players such as Bunny. She's been playing Rayman quite successfully for a long time. Long-time music fans will remember Snowy as well, was a classic Rayman main. But even more classic characters. We have the Patrick Star coming out here on the side of Oleg, playing as the Cappuccino Bodverino. Sounds like somebody's been watching Eurovision, I guess. As we have the Teros, which is a character that, of course, we all know hits really hard, does not lead that many hits to secure a stock. Of course, the weapons are slower than other weapons, which Timox is demonstrating here with a nice little gauntlet string. Gets another D-light into the air. It's such a lovely option, the jump up into weapon down. It's just so safe, gets you off the ground, but yet presents a hitbox and puts you at disadvantage just like that. But catches Timox sleeping on the side of the stage with the Petrov side stick coming out. Timox trying a side heavy of their own over the side of the stage, which doesn't quite do. The hammer there, looking to call out an option to come in aggressively, and we have the other main weapon, the axe, of course. Super good at finding decays in space, especially with that classic. It's always been a really funny signature to me. The Brawlhalla devs clearly intended it to be a cool little sort of re-maneuvering signature. You kind of fly overhead with that and then chop down. But people find it actually is most successful at just getting the immediate hitbox out. It's so fast and it's so brutal as well, because it's supposed to be the reward for a really long move. But that's just how these things go. As we get into our second stocks here, Timox looking to cross up with the Nair to potentially send off stage. We've got a lot of moves being done out here. Another side seat to call out, but this time Timox is safely off stage and doesn't get clipped by it. Looking to catch Oleg dashing in, just to go find it. Hammer off stage, baits out to make it look like going for the recovery, but then doesn't quite, and then goes for the ground pound. Nearly gets punished for it, but Oleg's actually having much more success with not actually the direct off-stage engagement, but actually trying to bait out when Timox thinks under pressure off stage, goes like on stage to try and avoid it, and then only then gets the follow-up. That's been how these interactions have been mostly playing out so far. as Oleg takes the second stock with a lovely little slider. Thomas going for the double slide like read. Doesn't quite find it, but gets a lovely little slide charge, following into another slide charge. Oleg going for the wide push-off angle there, the path less travelled, so oftentimes does find success, but this time TMUX stays nice and wide. Close concentration with a side sig, but as it drops on stage, it's pretty much unpunishable. As Thomas looks to find this KO, decided it's going to get close, but the weapon toss is slightly short. Goes for the D-Light. I think maybe Oleg was looking for something else there. The grandfather promotion, probably a recovery they were looking for to get back on stage. Instead, just plummets down this time. But it's no biggie, as Oleg is back, and of course he's still swinging. Not even with the weapons. It's always a tough out when the terror starts hitting you unarmed, because it's sort of like there's no weapon diff at that point. It's just they're just hard hits to take. Or as TMUX goes around, doesn't get caught by the side sig, gets the D sig, they're nearly out of options, but goes under very smartly under that D light, which would have ended the game right there. Calls out the D-Light with a spot dodge, but unfortunately the frame data doesn't quite work out. It seems like low on options here, but does get the dodge back to stage. As we go back to neutral, trading just big swings here. Not quite. We switch to the gauntlets to try and find the D-Sig off stage. Oleg quickly waits out that D-Sig and doesn't quite get over that. Goes for the nair into the recovery. Catches just so much in general, not even dodges, just vibes it catches at that point. Goes high, tries to fade back with the Sair, but TMUX is just too far in. Goes for another nair recovery. Just because, I mean, just the odds, right? The recovery just has so many hitboxes, and all of them will kill, probably. Tries to get cheeky, just going up by the lip with the neutral light, but the neutral light is too laggy with the axe move, and Oleg is able to reposition around and get the big swing with the side air to more than secure the KO in that place as we finish up game 1. Okay. Well done, both. That was quite a close one, as I believe we see a character swap coming, a double character swap coming out here. You love to see it, as we have a completely different matchup now. Both players looking to see what they can bring over from their current kit and try to improve that. So TMUX bringing over the gauntlets, of course, from the Rayman, dropping the axe and getting the spear. Which is just a little bit more range, a bit more of a sort of combo game that you can lock into with silence D-lights and so on and so forth. But I think the more out of left field change, in fairness, actually, it's quite the change from both. They're both trading out an axe for a long range weapon. In this case, one of them being a spear, one of them being a set of blasters. Now on the side of Oleg. We'll see if they come out. I do see a great deal of Cassidy players. The second Cassidy player, of course, of the day. That actually just prefer that hammer. I mean, it is an incredibly good hammer. D-Light N-Sig is infamous for obvious reasons. As we get a nice little D-Light into recovery there. Goes for the very quick little ground pound. I wonder if maybe it's a grab cancel. Or maybe, I mean, you can probably get stuff off a on-stage ground pound at that range, if you really believe. Oh, not quite high enough to get the set. Maybe high enough this time. There we go. The rule of 2. Works out this time as we get the second stock, or the first stock, sorry, on the side of Oleg. As now TMUX must play from behind, look for the gauntlet KOs, gauntlet recovery, of course, being a really good option. It used to be a better option the last patch. The recovery trades with a down air there, so both the same options. I mean, the blasters does make it quite tough. TMUX really wants that recovery so bad. That must have been about sort of 10 in a row. And Blasters is like right there with the dare above you, covers exactly the answer you're looking at. It's sort of the answer to say they were a Chakram player. I wonder if we'll see any Chakram today in this bracket. Priya, of course, being legal in this tourney, but we'll see if we get that out. But it's the same sort of idea where it just covers that space white release so well, just makes it really hard to do anything. Goes for the max range D-Sig off stage. And no recovery. Gets so close. But just the on stage side sig, just calling out that TMUX is just going to be over there in general. Quite a difficult sig to avoid if you're in that zone. You just have to really know that they're going to do into it, which is tough when it's the first one in the game. as these blasters just continue racking on the damage. Especially these dare follow-ups have been super nice, or the dare openings. Been getting a lot of mileage out of those, which is fair. There's not particularly true combos off of there, but it's just from a positioning point of view, it's just so nice. But can get countered by the D-Light there, which comes that space above you. Another side sig, but this time Team Ops is push overhead, gets D-Light into the recovery, goes to the neutral stage off top stage, but not quite. Neutralites in, gets the read on the dodge in, calling out pretty much maybe like 1 or 2 options there, really, as Oleg secures game 2 with a nice little read there on the signature. It is a best of 5, yep. Like, all these matches are best of 5. They're like a BCX. BCX is best of 5 for the entire tourney. Which I think is ludicrous when you're getting into the round of 256 and it's best of 5. But I mean, I don't know. I'm there for it.
3, 2,
I'll gladly do a 3rd game. As Team Ops goes back to the Rayman, I think it's fair. I think the gauntlets were doing the right, but trying to find these KOs is always going to be easier with an axe in hand. It is, of course, the soft axe of Rayman, and not, say, Terror's axe, but it gets the job done. Force is force. As we get nearly a lovely little sidelight read there. Picks up the axe, immediate recovery. Tries to call out a high option. The grab cancelling it barely off stage is really good. Because it can catch players that are both grounded and on the stage by just having a hitbox in the middle. Gets neutral light, which disarms, sends Oleg off stage, but not quite. Picks up the blaster's immediate DC, goes for another grab slightly off stage. It hasn't been punished for either of them, in fairness. And both of them were definitely, if not killed, put in a really bad option. Oleg goes low, but Team Ops isn't really looking to get an edge guard at this point. Gets the down air into the Sarah, doesn't need to jump this time. Very, very, very close with that recovery there. Team Ops barely managed to dodge out the way of that one. As we try and find our KOs here, which is done first by Oleg with the nice side air off the stage. Though, we of course, you know, an end light away, that side stick would have definitely done it. A nice little fade back to Sarah to try and catch an option in. Really, really looking at it. It's feeling like the recoveries from last game. Really looking, I mean, it is pretty much what you want, but how are you going to get it? It's the sort of tough part. If you go much for one option. We're not seeing too many signatures this time off the stage. We are an axe, so D-Sig is always an option. Oh, okay, well there we go. We get a nice, I love little slide charge stage, which puts Oleg into a bad position where they're forced to use the Blaster's Recovery, which is arguably a move that you never really want to ever want to use, because the Frame Deader just puts you at disadvantage for such a long amount of time, which then makes it void with a nice ground pound to go around the hitboxes. Both players seem pretty happy to play this corner, just sort of puts a couple of moves over the edge, trying to catch out some timing, or calls out that hammer set with a lovely capital D-Light, gets some follow hits, but is caught out of the air, reads the side air to give out stage, where Team Ops is not able to dodge that, and secures stock. Nearly gets the D-Light to turn around down air. Very, very specific setup you need for that, where it's just like super duper stacked. So that's some good hammer knowledge to be able to find. So that's the follow up. Comes in with another Sair. Hammer Sair being, I mean, all the hammer aerials are really difficult to hit, but hammer Sair feels like really nice until you start missing it, in which case, and then it is a bit weird because it is quite so. Oh, gets the read on the ground pound, but not quite. Rayman has a lot more options. You're gonna have to snuff out, I'm afraid, before you can be finding that KO. As Team Ops gets the grab counter side sig to send Oleg off stage. We're once again in Blaster City, which means lots of dares, but does get the tail of the D-Light, and Miami Dome being very tall, so that's not quite going to KO quite yet. Team Ops going for another slide charge, but this one is punished with Oleg's side sig, which secures game number 3 in this winners top 8. GG's to both. Like that was good. That was a good game. They were all close. They were all close. As well, which is of course what you like to see. we do like our close little games in the training room tourney. If I've not said it yet, thank you everyone for turning up and tuning in today. I've had a blast so far casting these games. And they've been good games to cast, of course. Like proper full throttle Brawlhalla. No sort of holding back. We go in, we swing, and we get some victories, which is nice. So we're going to take another quick break while I go sort out the bracket and find what our next game is going to be. And I will see you all in a minute. There we go, and we are back with what I believe will be our next game, which where we'll be seeing Tarmox go up against Frog, who I believe we've not had on stream quite yet. So that's nice to see. Always good to see new players. As let me join the game room real quick. Okay, there we go. As we of course have the Bayman versus Frog. It's on the Diana, which is always a fun pick to see. Frog, I believe that's the Legion tag, right? So we got some clan affiliation going on here. As we switch to the overlay and we start off game number 1. So Diana, of course, a character known, well, for many things, but mostly for tricks. Diana is a very tricky character. Sometimes, largely for the bow signatures are what most people know Diana for. The Blasters ones are fine. Blasters, of course, is just always tricky. So that lines up. But Bow Side Sig is just a very long-lasting signature. It outlasts most options. Bow End Sig is a brutal spike, and Bow D Sig, while hard to hit, is an even brutaler spike, if that was, of course, even a term. So, not a character to get caught out of shapes with. The Blasted Side Sig having a super large amount of range, but Timox manages to catch them coming back in with signatures of their own. But we trade neutral sticks for neutral sticks. Well, there you go. It's neutral stick, it's gimmick for gimmick, and you have to know when you're placing these characters. As we go to completely even stocks, even second stocks, which is of course exactly what you want to see as a spectator. I think this is going the distance, and I think it's going to be a very fun set as we figure out how deep into their bag of tricks these players can go in order to get to clinch out these stops in the moments. What's that last mix-up that you can find that will secure the KO? Fogfrog dashing off stage, I guess maybe trying to get to bait into a little bit something to maybe get a Blaster's Dare off the stage. Always nasty, but we get the very high Nair sent down, and with a couple of jeffs, especially dashing down, would have gone right into that D-Sig, which would have been very bad for Fogfrog. But managed to stay high. Gets the turnaround graphic as a D-Light, which has been you've been seen many times at very high tier esports play. Just catches people up looking to dash through and get behind you. Well, it turns out the D-Light catches that trajectory perfectly, starts near you, heads further away, and it's been netting a lot of success at a lot of stages of play. So good option. Gets the D-Light, but doesn't quite get the dash through or the X-Pivot to get the follow-up Nair on that one. So found another Nair coming down. Neutral Light, but it's spaced around as Thomas goes for another neutral sig, but this one doesn't quite come through this time. Approaches with the Sair, but Fogfrog stays back. The Blaster's D-Sig, probably the least good of Diana's D-Sigs, of Diana's signatures in general. Well, probably definitely the D-Sigs. And Thomas gets a nice little side sig punish, but doesn't quite go yet. Charges up the side sig all the way. You can see Fogfrog looking to head over in order to get the punish, but the fist is of course deadly along the whole way and catches that option right there. Like, so that evens up stocks, but Timox is a little behind. We'll need a little bit more to find out. But welcome to the chat, Kokobo. I'm streaming I think one match from each round I think probably until we get to like sort of top 4, maybe I'll just stream them all. We'll see how we do. Because we want to stream as we're getting towards the end of game 1. Fogfrog finds the recovery, sends into the red sparks off the top right as we finish our game 1. But that was a very close match, all things considered. But in fairness, not in particularly sort of dire strategies, just sort of good bow gameplay. Which is well, I guess in many ways the bread and butter of things. As we get into our second game, we'll see. This is one of the very few times that we actually don't have any character swaps. Everything proceeding as expected. And we go to a bit of a smaller map here, which could lead to some interesting interactions. Things can KO very early around here. So you're thinking dying a side sig, catch that at the wrong point. You have both the extension of the move and the high force. The Nair does something interesting this time. Send that one to the dev team to explain exactly why that one dropped. You still get the first hit, so it's not too bad. But there we go. That's a much better Nair. Fogfrog are actually doing a lot of approaching with some granite aerials. With the Nair, a Sair there. Trying to get over Fogfrog's approach and gets the max range D-Light there. We haven't been seeing too many D-Lights over things, but Timox gets the side light read that every Gauntlet player is always looking for at any moment in the game. I once saw a very salty message in the Brawlhalla Discord about how I think technically if you delay your sidelight properly, you can cover every single dodge with sidelight into backgrounds and sidelights. Of course, you can't cover every option at once, so it's not that good. But Timox gets the read that Fogfrog will be heading back to stage, back into center stage, which fairness, a lot of dodges are, and it's good stock as we get back into our second one. Well, in fairness, it's just Thomas's first. So now Frog is trying to find the KO. Goes for the absolutely gaudy ground pound. I think that might kill. Like nearly. But Gauntlets has a lot of aerial drift. Thomas barely makes it back. Like at any other stage, and these balls will be quite long enough. Frog goes really deep down there. That's a really bad spot to be against Gauntlets, but Thomas does not get anything. Quite get the follow up there as Frog finds a nice. Expert there around the lip of the stage, nice safe little option, and at that percentage will do more than KO. But Thomas gets a nice little axe string, ending with the early part of the recovery, the most unfair part of axe recovery, where the axe isn't even swinging yet, but just so much knockback. Gets a side sig, but remember side sig for the distance it gets, it's countered by having not too much force from that part of the stage. Will not quite KO. But still is good damage nevertheless. For poking away with these blaster shots, but the issue with blasters is that it can be if your opponent manages to space around that, there's a lot of openings for attack, especially for Sightsig as quick as Raymond's. As Frog doesn't go into that stage, but does get a nice little read there. Thomas going high, and the blaster doing really well. Coming high, we get another double sidelight read. Frog going with something gnarly off the top of the stage there. If that recovery here, that would have easily KO'd and brought things back to final stops. But unfortunately, Thomas drops down a little lower, and we go back to neutral. As we're still looking for this, that's okay. Oh, gets solid, but unfortunately doesn't quite input the recovery there. Maybe go with the safer option of the D-Light Sair. Space option on the stage could have been perhaps more reliable there, or maybe it was a read. We may never quite know. But Thomas is quite far ahead here, but of course this could be something. Where we see a comeback coming in potentially. We get a double slideshow breakdowns off the stage. But unfortunately, oh no, the broken ankles as Thomas does not quite make it back to the stage with no options. It is the risky run as a Gauntlet player, being so high up in the sky. Sometimes you just lose track of exactly which options you have. You press that jump button, you press that dodge button, and neither do nothing. And then, or before you know it, we're going into game 3 with Frog up 2-0. Though at that point you sort of have to, I guess, kind of mental reset. It's fine.
3, 2, 1,
and just take a fresh outlook into game 3 here as we go to Miami Dome. A bit more of a unconventional map again, though. Of course, BMG has been resolutely insisting that we play on platform maps because platforms are cool. So Miami Dome has actually been going interestingly for it was a really niche pick for years, but now we're seeing much more of it as we get the very high D-Light there. Calling out T-Mox's read of the side light. He's of course been really presenting that read of the side light. That's fine, a lot of success for it, but Frog decides that this time is when we're going to punish that second calculus sliding and gets the super duper high recovery, which carries you all the way into that blast zone, even on Miami Dome, which is a very high stage. That KOs. As Thomas is behind after spending most of the second game ahead, now has to fight back against the wall that is these blasters. There are it's sort of at the point where the blasters kind of enter flow state and they just kind of start hitting things. When you just kind of no longer end up with the opponent outside, gets the neutral light into the Sair. Bit of an unconventional follow-up there, but not one that you often expect. And so you might not be prepping the dodge immediately for. As we have Frog up a 3-1 stock lead. It is, of course, really like 2.5 to 1 stock lead, as this stock is sort of quite late, and we can easily make it 2-1 with a nice side sig. But Frog punishes that side sig with a nice little slide into Sair, which of course got some frame advantage buffs in the most recent patches, which has made it a much more scary option for catching those overshoot sigs that Rayman has. Doesn't get the low profile Grab Cancel D-Light gives Timox a bit of a moment's respite as Falcon switches to bow, looking for the Diana Classics. Doesn't quite get the ground pound over the edge of the stage, as Timox uses these platforms very well. I saw a DC coming out there, but thankfully Timox is quick enough this time to not quite get caught in what would also in the kills, and just jumps off and side airs, which evens up which would have even stopped, but secures the first stock from Frog, as Timox is going to have to get a nice gauntlet string, but it's not going to quite be found there, as Frog gets a final Grav Cancel D-Light into the recovery, which secures game 3 and ends the set. Right. So that was quite an exciting one. A lot of back and forth going on there. Congrats to Frog, but of course congrats to Timox for getting, I forget what placements we're in now, but making it quite far into our inaugural training room bracket. Thank you for the sets you played. That was some good Brawlhalla gameplay. You'd love to see it. As well, I don't know, join the lobby. Calm it down. As we'll just go into one last quick break. I'll go take a look over the bracket, and I'll see you all in a minute. Right, there we go. Good afternoon. We are back. And I believe this time we'll be looking into a match from winners semis. So we're nearly there. This is the sort of latter parts of the tournament bracket. We're nearly at our winners finals, and then of course our grand finals as well. So this is now quite far in the bracket, as we have the matchup between Kokobu and No Skin 15. Let me just join the room. There we go. As we have Kokobu. Again on the Dyna, we have a lot of Dyna gameplay at this tournament, which you always quite see. Dyna is quite a funny character. And we have No Skin on the Chun-Li, which is of course a sort of quite classic Wushang crossover. So no weapons shared between them, but it should be quite an interesting match, where the bow will be the sort of long poking tool, and so will the spear. Fairness, both our Dyna's weapons are really sort of poking weapons, with the gauntlets being really the only short range weapon that we have nowadays. As we get into our map banning phase, I should reset the scores real quick, because we're of course at the start of this set. As we go into our map ban phase, we start out with, of course, one of the favourites for a nice neutral stage to start on, just the single platform, which just sort of lets you kind of decide what kind of set you're looking for, and you can sort of tap into more particular stages as time goes on. You can try the platform, see if the platform works for you. If it doesn't, then we'll be seeing sort of a small world's end sort of gameplay. If it does, then well, there's plenty of platform perhaps that you can pick from. Mishiba Dojo, Terminus, and so on and so forth. As we get into things, so we have Kokobu opening up with the bow on the Dyna. Gets a nice little Capcom sidelight. Doesn't quite find what would have been a very nefarious neutral sig. Would have been quite a deal. As we see the spear. Now spear is a very interesting weapon. It's playing it. You do sort of just have to really lab in to the sidelight. It's one of the spear's best grounded moves, but we won't actually see spear grounded moves because Kokobu just swatting them out the air, getting the first stock. I think I have a quick little check from No Skin. There we go. Like, as we get back into the sort of the gauntlets instead, Kokobu finding quite a lot of success with just kind of swatting away with these areas, staying on top of the stage. The spot dodge is read very nicely by the D-Sig. A signature, quite funny for being nerfed sort of very many times, but it's still really good, especially what it does. Gets the D-Light into a ground pound, which is one of those obscure shoe combos that you just very rarely see, even though it's, especially on the side of stage, incredibly good, and just kind of takes away all of No Skin's options, and leaves them sort of just to fend for themselves at the bottom of the stage. As we see if we can get a stock taken off Kokobu. Looking for the sidelight, but that one just sort of goes through. Recovers, but holds back out of the line of fire from those blasters. As we see Kokobu just sort of spacing out, trying to gets a nice little set on stage, goes for the slide charge D-Sig, which is not a good option, but Kokobu very wisely weaponizes his art to stuff out sort of any potential slow moving options, which No Skin went for. Comes in with the Seb, which does bounce at the stage, goes for the ground pound over the lip, which if Kokobu tried to head low would have hit, but finds the neutral light, which at that damage and at that positioning will be more than enough to KO. As we get down to a bit more even, 2 stocks to 1. Definitely within the realms, especially if you just get some spear hits start coming through. One spear read can just lead into so much. We're noticing a lot of dodge throughs from Kokobu. Maybe that can be sort of picked up on as sort of it's kind of weird that sort of maybe the spear is one of the weapons most reliant on a read. But No Skin's just not quite been pulling the trigger on sort of maybe a sort of dashback D-light. But in this, instead, Kokobu puts up the wall with the Blaster Zen Light, which it's been sort of, neutral light is a sort of bit of a tough move to really sort of follow up on. Welcome to the chat, like Ace Vane. Welcome to these training tournaments. So we're currently seeing some BRAWLHALLA game here, as we're both in the deep red. A big Sair comes through. No Skin going all the way out for what would have definitely been the dare to end it. But we're just happy just to get some Sairs, and that is quite enough. Which sends No Skin just too far off the stage, and isn't quite able to make it back on, as Kokobu takes the first game. Yes, yeah, this is a tourney. So I believe actually that's a good point. I should set up the bot or something so we can get the bracket link. But in case you haven't seen it, I will send a link to the bracket. As we have a character swap, interesting enough here. Kokobu, of course, did quite well in the diner, but we see more of the fate that we saw a lot of earlier on in the bracket, as we go back to the small fortress of lions, which is of course once again just a very neutral stage, always one that you can sort of I guess depend upon for not being sort of too gimmicky. You get a nice decent wall along the sides. There's none of that going under the stage shenanigans, so if you're sent under, then that's it. You don't have to cover the whole other side as well. As we get some gauntlet gameplay to open things up, we're coming in with a scythe, so it's like two halves of Mordex fighting against each other. As No Skin comes in with the side sig, but Kokobu manages to catch them over the edge with the D-Light, goes for the weapon toss, catches another recovery, gets another dare, and that is the Gimp right there, using the entire breadth of the scythe kit to secure that KO. Which is that was good. That was good. And just sort of stuffed them out. And the more forward he knew when to leave it. When that last dare came through, that was it. Goes for the dash jump reverse nair, which almost certainly that nair was not sending back. That nair was going all the way off. Scythe actually being quite good against the sidelights that Spear looks for so often. Because if you miss that side lights, it's probably because you jumped, and you're probably now in a perfect position to get a dare, and from the dare you can only do what you want as a scythe player. To get the side light off the stage, but reading a low option, but Kokobu goes high instead, so it doesn't quite get caught. As we go back to neutral, both trading side hits, side light for side air. Kokobu coming in with a strong side light to send No Skin off stage. No Skin manages to recover back onto the stage, as we get a neutral light to punish that very low altitude neutral air. But No Skin quickly reading that Kokobu was just going to be sort of in the airspace above them, gets the recovery, gets the D-Light into the grab counter side light. Interesting play. I guess if you're looking for a sort of side hitting move, in theory, why not? The only thing better is the grab counter side heavy. But of course we don't need to do any of those particular shenanigans. Will there be a VOD? Yes. I believe I turned on that setting. So the VODs will be available for whatever the Twitch default amounts to, if I can get them up for longer, as we get some air-to-air scythe gameplay, which of course will be great to see in the archive. As No Skin looks to get the side sig to catch a low on stage, but Kokobu recovers over that as he get a low dare, but actually that puts Kokobu in the worst spots, as they go down for a further follow-up, but No Skin manages to wrap around, gets another guy, swaps over, noting that Kokobu had just been disarmed, so the weapon salve is great. Might go for another one, yeah, exactly. Just continue selling this weapon, stay in the advantage state, and get more hits. Nearly gets the read off of that side light. The neutral sig just covering so many options in so many situations, truly quite brutal. But instead finds just the sort of low altitude side air, just sort of a low altitude aerials have been great. In general, are just sort of quite great for just finding things. Gets the side light, probably could have said there, but instead went for the nair just to try and get that extra long extension. But it's not needed, as Kokobu just finds a Sair by itself, which sends us into game number 3. Let's go straight into map banning. I didn't quite get to see if there are any character swaps, but I can see No Skin is still on the patented Wushang, so we'll just be seeing things continue as they are as we go into this game 3. I think with some I think if No Skin can start getting some of those reads off the side lights, there's been No Skin has had quite good success with actually landing the side lights, but actually sort of getting the extensions of them has been proving quite difficult. So if you can start seeing some of that spear gameplay come online, then I think we can start seeing them. But instead, Kuba says actually, we saw some scythe gameplay off stage, but what about the orb off stage? Orb, not a weapon typically known for the sort of low off stage potential. It sort of has dare as its only real spiking move, but nevertheless, if you just hit them off stage, it'll be good. As we get the landing dare that plinks off the stage, as we actually do start to see the full side-light D-light combo come through into the Sair. And No Skin takes the first lead, I think, of the set so far. As we get another side eight and gets another dodge read in. It's catching these dodges in. I think that must be 2 in a row. The double side light is a really good option, which means Kuba is now playing from pretty much a stock behind here, as No Skin has really found a lot of success with this spear, and Kuba is going to have to stabilize a bit. With the orb, which is of course a very stable weapon, catches the Sair off the edge of the stage, thinking Kokobu might be sort of perhaps presenting over there with a Sair or with a neutral light or something, but instead dashes back and gets the DC. Nicely done to secure that corner guard, as Kukobu just keeps going and just basically hitting more moves with the orb. It's sort of nothing too big, but actually just gets the set off stage, catches the recovery, and that's it! That is a lovely little gimp with the orb right there. As now No Skin has been sent down to their last stock. Still given the dare into recovery, helping out from that age-old change to the dare angle to get a new combo. Nearly manages to sneak out a DC, but the neutral light just comes up too quickly, and for this neutral light hits quite far away as well. Kuba goes for the grab cancel, maybe trying to get the downwards hitbox of the D-light, not one you see very often. Unfortunately, No Skin doesn't quite get the jump in time there in order to get the Sair follow-up, in order to skill the KO. As you know, just managed to find it, but actually just finds the Sair just a little while later, and doesn't really take too much more beyond that to send us down to the last stock of Game 3. Kukobu coming in with the scythe, goes off stage with a nice little nair. Would have been very fiendish if it came through, but instead falls back to guard the corner. Just presenting options, probably neutral light. No, actually goes off stage to try and tempo shift and keep No Skin off stage, but instead just finds Kukobu's lights into recovery. Dodge wasn't quite online, and that is Kukobu taking game number 3. And ending this set in the winner semis. And sends No Skin down to the upper parts of the elimination bracket, which I'm sure is where we'll be seeing next. But in any case, good games by both. Some very exquisite gameplay off stage coming through from both the scythe and the orb, as well as some real flow state spear gameplay, which is just what you always quite like to see coming through. It's always nice when, especially in these sets where both players they sort of get their turn at playing well, and a very exciting set. So I'm gonna go check out the bracket. I think we might be able to start our next set, maybe even straight away. I'm gonna start it, which I think is going to be Senor Sass, aka Senal Soup, playing against Frog in what will be the lower part of the elimination bracket, as we fight to see who will make it into grand finals. I'm going to start that game now. I think the other set in losers finals I don't think will start, which is Bamia versus 7DLA. Which is an interesting one, because of course if you follow BRAWLHALLA esports, you'll of course know Bamia, a sort of Zol Mordex combo player, who it's of course one of the best talents in Europe at the minute. So very exciting to see that they signed up for the tournament, but I guess didn't quite make it on the day. Yep, looks like we'll be starting that match, so I will just go But yeah, to just wait for me to set the stream overlay before we start. Let's join a custom game room and check the lobby code. I pressed enter too quick once again. Cool, yeah. There we go. I just need to go set up our next stream overlay as we are in. I believe this is elimination top 4. Right, so we're getting sort of quite the ways into things in our elimination bracket. Let me just fix that title. Oops, that's moving something else. Hold on a minute. Right, there we go. There we go. I don't. We've seen both these players on the stream so far. So that means actually we could be getting a Diana mirror match. As both players have been on the Diana this set, which will be so very, very much something to see. As this will be Senor Sass. Oops, there we go. Versus Fog. I'll just need to reset the scores as well. There we go. And we'll swap the overlay. Like, there we go. As we look to get into this match, I hope. Though, there we go. So we do see a bow mirror match to start things off. Signal Soup on the Ember, Diana, Fog on the Diana, which I suppose is an interesting comparison because they're both characters that are infamous for their bow. I guess probably bow neutral sigs most of all, but for completely different reasons. The Ember bow neutral sig is unfair for being fast and enormous, and the Diana bow neutral sig infamous for being fast, not super large, but sending off stage. But actually, we start this game off with the off weapons from the bow. The guitars going into the blasters. So this is quite an interesting matchup. If Signal Soup can get in with the guitars, a lot of work can be done. Blasters sort of lack real options if they're stacked on their opponent. There is D-Light, which comes out there, but missing a D-Light can be quite a sort of bad situation to be in. Signal Soup sent one with the Dare and doesn't quite have the options to make it back. As Fog takes the first stock. And sticks with the blasters. We're noticing a lot of breakdances out of the iframes from respawning, which is, I guess, sort of is one way to come back to stage. Fog manages to find the nice little D-Light. Since it nearly connects the ground pound on stage, Fog nearly gets the max range grab cancel side sig, which is very tricky to catch out with, and manages to read the movement in to get the recovery. To send us to the final stops. So picking up the guitars, nearly gets the follow-up with the D-Light, gets a ground pound, nearly getting the nair of follow-up of that. Recovers D-Light, sends up in the sky, but they now find themselves over the corner. Gets the ground of D-Light in the sky, doesn't quite get the follow-up for that. And then looking for the D-Sig in the corner, a very difficult option to face, and catches Signal Soup heading back to stage. I think one more dodge. Doesn't quite get the ground pound over the edge of the stage. Not quite the movement speed, but managed to secure things, in any case, with the weapon toss to finish game number 1. So, it's an interesting match we had going on there. I guess we'll have to see another character come out, and this time we have the Zul. A complete switch up from the Ember stats. We're of course going 10 at 10 attack the way Zul is supposed to be played, of course, which is funny. with Xeno Soup also playing Team Attack in this month's skirmish as well. So really representing their side in the skirmish, which just made me think, I don't know if any tourney games qualify for skirmish points. I think no. I think it has to be matchmaking games for it to actually count. And unfortunately, Fogfog is not repping their skirmish tag. So it's hard to know if this is actually a Team Attack versus Team Speed match. So I think that would be interesting to see. But instead, we get the sidelight into the downlight, gets the very low altitude ground pound, catching Fogfog all the way down there, stuffing out the recovery, taking a shotgun white. That must have been like pretty much a 2 or 3 hit KO there. Catching Fogfog trying to really get fiendish down the bottom of the stage there. And brings us tied to 2 stocks. Looking to get some cannon going to be. I don't think we've seen any cannon on the stream quite yet. Cannon being one of those weapons that sort of has been played. Nearly gets what would have been a critical blow. Neutral Sig off the grab cancel there, but doesn't quite find it. Sounds the life come through from Xeno Soup. But Fogfog recognizing that and going all the way to the top of the stage to find the recovery there. Miami Dome is a very tall stage, but getting a recovery up there, it's going to be curtains no matter what map it is. But Xeno Soup picks up the axe, gets a nice sider, goes for the another long hold ground pound. Just such a scary option because it's sort of the ground pound itself, of course, doesn't have any particular hitbox, but you can just let that go at any particular point along the travel there. Another grab goes to sidelight, but this one doesn't quite go through. Just finds the tail end of an air, but that one's quite difficult to follow up on. Gets the turnaround downlight. Nearly gets the sort of double sidelight, and maybe looking for Say in that particular instance. But instead, just sort of getting more D-lights and getting the KO off the top. Right, an interesting game there. Not the way I saw things starting with a KO in white. But that's just the way things go. Sometimes you may have sort of 3 jumps and a dodge and a recovery, but if they just get stuffed out at the correct point, then that can just be curtains. As Xeno Soup sticking with the legend that he's had the more success with, looking to find some other interesting options with the Zol. Once again, announcing the option for a down heavy at the start of the game and between stocks as well, which was the brutal one to be hit by, especially at red. But instead, we just get some really quite immaculate battle gameplay. Fogfog gets the maximum stack on that D-light as well, just calling out, trying to get down to the ground, and securing that KO. As we sort of, it's been quite interesting. It's been mostly Blasters. I think Blasters in a really good spot right now, which is funny for them being one of the most hated weapons for years in Brawlhalla. I think the devs, they've sort of taken notice. They've listened, and they've sort of consistently been buffing the Blasters patch after patch. Oh, the D-light to get back onto stage is quite nice. As we get the recovery, sending all the way to the top 45. Doesn't quite secure the KO, but that Nair will. But yeah, I think honestly, I think Blasters following the point where they've been maybe even getting too much love by the devs, and people are now just starting to realize, like, wait a minute, there's so many good options we get here. Sort of coming in with the ground pound close to the stage, reading a dodge through, but Fogfog instead dodges up. And doesn't quite come through with that. Looking to get the Nair, but the Nair doesn't quite come through. Unfortunately, Xeno Soup plummets instead to the last zone, and that is a 3-0 for Fogfog in the elimination top 4. Which sends them on to, I believe this will be the, probably actually, the losers finals, because I don't think the other losers match is going to finish. But in any case, good games by both. Some interesting, exciting Brawlhalla to see there. Some real nip and tuck kind of gameplay going on. But yes, that is that, and I think we'll hop back over most likely to our winners side matches as we head over to a quick break, and we'll be back with what will be, I believe, the winners final. See you then. Right, there we go, and we are back and ready to get into our winners finals set here, which will be between Oleg and Kukubo. Two players that have been quite dominant in this tournament so far, so interesting to see how the matchup between them goes, as we can just join into this lobby real quick. We'll see if we see any particular character swaps, but Kukubo going with the Fate that they've been seeing so much success with in this tournament so far. The Orb has been dependable, it's been reliable, it's been building up damage, and it's been getting KOs. And the Scythe has been great for that sort of, as it sort of normally does in these situations. It's the sort of X factor, and make sure to keep the opponents on their toes. And sort of just as they sort of think they're sort of getting around the tricks of the Scythe, then then Kukubo's been able to swap back over to the Orb and secure the stocks. That's been the sort of game plan so far. As we see what character Oleg's going to come out and pick as we come into potentially starting our game one. Though, I'm trying to remember, yeah. So we'll see exactly how this one goes. Yep, as we should be ready to go. Let's do this. Which should be good, as we should be able to go into our map banning phase in just a moment. Yeah, we should look at that. Nyx is free this week, which I guess is fair for BRAWLHALLA Fest. And there we go. And of course, we see the Cassidy coming out here with the glow box, the epic crossover for Cassidy, as we can transition into the start of this game. Kukubo versus Oleg to start off our winners final. The winner of this will make it into our grand final. The loser of this, I think, most likely will go on to face Frog, and then we now have our top three. All that's left to do now is to decide who the training room champion is going to be. We have Oleg starting off with the blasters that we saw so much success with in the previous sets. It was just poke away, especially with sort of moves like Dare. It's been super great. But we're interested to see how it works against Kobu, who has been sort of represented the airspace as also quite a lot. They're sort of both weapons, especially blasters and slides, that get so much from a Dare. You're going to get into a sort of weird merry-go-round as both weapons look to get into that dare positioning. But Oleg saying actually they're perfectly fine playing with below as well. Blaster Snare is a great move that follows up mostly into other Blaster Snares, sometimes in recovery, but the down recovery is the much more reliable option, as the sidelight barely and gets the double dare of a movie. I mean, you just have to admit, you have to be ready for that as the Scythe player. One of the incredibly few true combos that the Scythe has, and Kokobu puts it to good use at the side of stage, but Oleg fires back with another true combo, a much more standard one in the Hammer D-Light Sare, in order to tie these stocks up. As we get the Hammer opening up with a nice little D-Light sidelight, gets the side sig off side of stage, looking to call out with the early ground pound, which is honestly more of a bait. It more actually just follows up into baiting the opponent into seeing if you can get that recovery, which is such a nasty follow-up on Hammer. It's sort of something that's it's nice. It's both a way to get backstage and also put on immense pressure. Barely manages to make it round that neutral stick. I'm surprised it didn't quite hit. But Oleg decides actually to just stay completely in the corner, knowing that Kokobu has been representing the airspace quite a lot, and using one of the better anti-air moves in the game, just how quick it is. But we instead tie these stocks up instantly. This time we trade not quite true combos for not true combos, but a signature kill is actually no, it's been neutral stick for neutral stick. Like, and it's a very even game so far, as you can see. Different legends, different weapons, different pretty much everything, but quite similar game plans. As we see, Oleg representing the ground a lot more, has decided largely to sort of give up with trying to get the dare supremacy, and instead looking for D-lights and sidelights to instead catch Kokobu, perhaps overspacing with some of the dares. Tried to get the nice little grab of D-Sig, but despite having a lot of range, Kokobu stays tight. Looking for the D-Light into the recovery would have been nice. Maybe could even set him into dare to get the vintage Mafia, which not been seen in the wild for some time. But doesn't quite find it there, as we instead are looking stacked. Both players looking for their KO moves to close out this game. Sends off stage with the dare. Kokobu stays low below that dare, which is tough because that dare is quite large as well. Gets the backswing of the neutral signature though, thinking that actually they might be able to stay around it and get to the other side, but not quite, as we have a character swap from Kokubo, I should say, sorry, as we now have the Diana coming out instead, which is going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be nice to see how the sort of tempo shifts here. Diana being sort of like a lot more like Cassidy, in that there's a lot of tricky signatures that you have to know, and you have to be able to space around and punish effectively. Not quite at the blasters, but Blaster Neutral Stick, I'm sure, will be making plenty of appearances this game, trying to catch Oleg high in the sky, which is something that excels at quite much. But we have our Blasters mirror match here, as we just sort of trades where sort of both players are trying to stay sort of out of range of each other in order to not quite get caught up in the blaster zone, but also not trying to trade too stacked to each other, otherwise blaster moves won't hit. So it's been an interesting sort of deal in spacing in order to make sure these moves hit. The down signature covers Kokobu trying to dash around and get the thing. That weapon toss was absolutely point perfect, forcing quite a difficult dodge out from Oleg in the corner, but doesn't quite matter, as Oleg is able to get the neutral signature, sending Kokubo high in the sky and securing that first stock, as Oleg takes that, but Kokubo answering right back, and getting the KO for themselves. Let's just update the score sheet real quick. There we go. As we get back into our second stocks. Right, so we have the blasters now versus the hammer. Oleg trying to come in with the Sare, hammer Sare being just a really difficult move. Every Sare is poetry, in my opinion. It can just be so difficult sometimes because it just has quite a lot of lag, and the hitbox is not as generous as other heavy hitting weapons such as, say, Axe Sarah, which is huge. But never mind, Kokobu getting the maximum range out of those blasters right there, securing quite an early stock off the sides. But we're trading. Like, there's a certain parity to events. But unfortunately, that side sig breaks the trend and doesn't quite KO, and allows Kukubo to get some more damage on this stock. The neutral sig doesn't quite come through. Kukubo is able to get some damage. The signature off the side doesn't quite come through. That neutral sig would have put it in a really bad spot. But the nice thing about Cassidy is that one of these will hit eventually. Perhaps not the D-sig at that range, but it definitely is coming through. And there we go. Kukobu trying to find some respite on that top platform, but the Nutrisig super swell covers just the entire thing and just leaves you rather with nowhere to go. As we come down to, once again, our final stocks in game number 2. As we look to see who will Kukobu be able to tie up the set, or will Oleg take a 2-0 lead and be in a really strong spot to make it into the grand finals. As we see the hammer getting quite stacked there with the blasters, not the position you want to be in. The dash jump ground pound not quite making it inside the stage, but would have been quite good. The D-sig, the first D-sig I think in the set that's come through, but Kukobu wisely waits out the options perfectly, picks up the bow, gets the quick neutral light. Neutral light not a move we've seen too much of this set, mostly because I guess neutral sig covers the sort of neutral light range much more effectively and sort of catastrophically if you can get it. Waits out the D-light as well. A good wait, but doesn't quite get the follow for it as well. Looking to perhaps get this corner guard, maybe a D-light, a down air is what gets forwarded, and that's quite a straightforward punish on that side sig, but doesn't quite come through. The question is, can Kukobu score this edge guard? Might look for D-light. Another dare gets the super stacked dare over the side of the stage. The splashed hitbox on the ground being just about enough. As we have, I think, what might be our first tied up set of the stream so far, which is, especially as far as winners finals, is always very enticing to see. I can't remember who said it, but I remember someone mentioned, I think 1-1 is the most interesting score that you can see, perhaps even in just sort of all of esports. Because it sort of proves that both players definitely have what it takes to take it the entire set. It's been proven. And the only thing to decide is exactly who it'll be, as we see a character swap from the slightly niche signature legend to the much more classic one that we saw Oleg play earlier in the bracket as well. We've got a Teros coming out in the form of Patrick Star, who is, of course, I was just about to call it out, is going to be looking for the fiendish hammer side sigs. The sort of hammer side sig being one that is sort of surprisingly quick and just does a lot of force. Don't know what to do it. We're trying to sort of stake out that platform, quite the wide platform we have on this stage, to stake out. D-Light doesn't quite find it, as we see a hammer Sarah sends off stage. Difficult spots, but wise to say it's round, but unfortunately not quite in position to get the ground bomb punish on the neutral sig. I'm definitely certain that Kukobu saw that option coming, but unfortunately just couldn't quite get the spacing on top of it to get the ground pound, but does get a nice side out into the side sig, quite the Diana special, forces the dodge out of Oleg, but unfortunately set off stage with a dare, though it does manage to reverse the situation, so we're looking at once again another Congress situation, but I think this time, not quite. I thought Oleg was back on stage, but not quite. The D-Stick has other ideas, though the ground pound just about sending on stage, getting Oleg the stage back, and just sort of get some more hits through. Though great punish on that ground pound, which is the sort of things you sort of need to be making sure you still sort of have down as we go deeper into the set. Saying that sort of those kind of options, like they're not going to fly, and these edge guards are never going to be free. Though unfortunately, a side sig at a disadvantage gets Oleg the stock advantage, and quite a healthy one at that. And realistically for Teros, that's sort of maybe a couple more swings in order to tie the stocks up. But we get some blasters. They are coming back out. We get a slightly intercepting and another Grav Cancel side sig. Once again, reading the kit that Oleg is going to sort of be trying to stay away. I mean, it's a space that 95% of all the weapons can't quite counter. So, not one that you expect very often. Kukuba's been doing quite well at coming back. Forces Oleg into really well option with that weapon toss, and then all you need from there is just one last set in order to tie things up. And sort of out of nowhere, Kukuba just sort of as found some really nice blaster strings in order to tie this game up. Dodges the neutral sig that actually wasn't going to hit, but just sort of just reading that Oleg was going to be sort of looking for that kind of option. But the big hammer Ser is forced low by the side sig, looking to head around it, as that's sort of an option that can be put out at any moment, but unfortunately just goes slightly too low and does not quite get the punish round, as Oleg takes game number 3. It sends us right into game 4. As we this time don't have any character swaps, we still have the Diana versus the Teros. As we'll see if Kukubo can tie things up into a game 5, and the stage that will be on is going to be World's End, a stage which is known for the smaller blast zones. So both of these players are going to be looking for their signatures to really come through for them, as you're sort of not really looking for gimps so much on this stage. You're looking for lovely D6s on the corner, putting Oleg in a terrible spot, but makes it back to ledge, just looking to get back on stage. Gets on stage with the Ser as well. Gets a D-Light to send Kukuba high. Doesn't quite get much for it. Nearly gets the Ser into the dare, but doesn't quite matter because the pressure that Kukuba was able to pull off stage is enough to force Oleg to go low. As Kukuba takes another lead, and we'll see if Oleg can make this axe work for them. Quite a risky recovery onto stage, especially against blasters, as Kukuba has just been staying just outside of the sort of ranges that Oleg has been looking to get these swings from, and to a way sort of got there in that blaster's flow state. Barely makes it back on stage against the what would have always been the kill confirm of the slide charge hammer neutral signature. As we'll see if Kukuba can get something else, and they do with the Grav Cancel D-Sig this time, looking to get over these sort of grounded options that Oleg might have been able to present. As we see Kukuba up in a 3-to-1 stock advantage, things being pretty guaranteed to go to game 5. But Oleg manages to stay stacked and present. I believe that's the first Axe D-Sig we've seen of the game. It's, I guess, not a signature that fares too well versus the blasters, as staying stacked is something that the blasters will try and prevent from happening in the first place. So it's not a position that you sort of find yourself in too often to be able to pull that one off. But manages to find it there. Kukuba sends up high, manages to get the spot dodge read and the tail end of that signature, reading a dodge through, but Oleg doesn't give it to them, instead dodges neutrally and is able to avoid. That goes for the very ambitious ground pound, and we have a game 5 on our hands. We'll see if we have any particular stops. No, we don't. I think we are going to just be going into things so quickly. I think, where are we? Where did the game go? I think we might be loading into our next match. Or maybe not. I think we must be heading back to the character selection. Yep, there we go. Interesting Brawlhalla interaction there with the spectator menu. But I believe we will be having a character swap actually from Oleg switching over to the Bodvar, the impromptu mascot, of course, of Brawlhalla. A legend that you used to see a lot in Europe. But I guess it's an interesting sort of, with the hammer nerfs of a couple of years back, all of these sort of Bodvar players fled to other sword characters. And then Hammer's been doing a lot better recently, but that it's also coincided with sword not being the sort of most meta-defining weapon right now. So we just see if Bodvar is going to be the answer here, but the hammer, of course, is sort of, I guess, a much more sort of, I guess, honest sort of hammer than the one Sotteros has. You just need to be still really working actually quite hard for those hammer hits. But you have the sword as the motion weapon. But Kikuo manages to catch the dash through, gets the reverse set off the side of the stage to get the bounce. Won't quite KO, but will put Oleg into position for the D-Light to come through and to take the first stock. Sticking with the bow this time, the blasters have been doing a lot of work this entire set, but maybe just prepping for that weapon staff, which is what you need in order to stay ahead. And we'll see if Oleg can make things happen with his Bodvar. I think in any case, a swap in Game 5 makes a lot of sense. It's sort of a new character to deal with, and that sort of X factor can really sort of send you a lot. But Kokobu has been not having too much difficulty dealing, especially with the swords, from Oleg, though they do manage to find the weapon toss, a slow weapon toss than they might have been expecting, but gets the jump grab cancel side sig, which this time is what the KO is taken with. Sort of just making sure that maybe Oleg might go slightly higher, though we sort of get instead this sort of the blasters have just been sort of staying, I guess, largely grounded. Catches the recovery, nearly gets another recovery, off stage, but instead Oleg getting the double ground pounds, and bringing things right back to being even. Sort of the sort of second that that Kikuo was sort of at disadvantage off stage is where this hammer can really come in. Hammer, but never mind, just like that. That is our winners finals there, ended with the side sig. I think that's definitely 2 out of 3 KOs coming through with that side sig, as well as a lot of pressure that entire set. The sort of Dino side sig just being just a super reliable option, especially if you get the spacing down right for securing those KOs. As I think we'll be heading into the eliminations finals, which will be, yes, I think that one's probably not going to quite end. So just take a quick break just to catch the brackets up real quick, and then we should be back for the elimination finals. And there we go. We are back with what will be our elimination finals. This, of course, being the match, the last match before grand finals. So we have Oleg, who was knocked down in winners finals, and Fogfog, who I believe has been fighting their way through the elimination side of the bracket for quite some time. So a lot of games to have been played in order to make it back here. But we'll get into things. Let's join the lobby. And without further ado, wait a minute, there it is. We can get started. We have Oleg on the pick we've been seeing all afternoon, the Diana, or maybe the Diana. Or actually, looks like we're getting a quick reconnect. 1 minute, maybe just to go reload Steam. Like that's of course always the classic one when sort of when BRAWLHALA just isn't quite feeling quite up to things. A refresh can be always appreciated. But yeah, we'll be seeing most likely the Cassidy from the Oleg here, and I suspect we might be seeing a Diana Cassidy match coming up, which is always fun to see. Okay. But yeah, we'll go ahead and give them the green light, and we can get in to what will be, I guess, the second to last set that we'll see today. Oh, my Twitch. Oh, it was good after now. It's on my Twitch. On my Twitch. There you go. It is me with an underscore and a double E. And of course, for those here, thank you for watching this afternoon. It's been a blast casting all these sets. I've currently made my way through 2 bottles of water in order to keep my throat going. This is what they don't tell you. This is what they don't tell you about casting BRAWLHALA sets. Is that you need to stay hydrated. This can of course double as our stay hydrated check. If you've not got any water to hand right now, like I would suggest maybe go and get some. Especially with me, it's a hot day right now, so I've been sweating buckets. But that's all right, and we'll keep going into these latter stages of the bracket. I think we're just waiting for Fogfog to come back, and then we should be able to start our game if they're able to get back into here. Let me just check. Yeah, so Fogfog fought off in this bracket against Senor Sass, as well as, oh yes, it was of course Timox in that most unfortunate best of 3. So that's a lot of matches been played. Like the prize is that you get the joy of winning is the prize for this tournament, which of course is this sort of the idea behind these training room tournaments is that they're not sort of like as high stakes as a lot of the other tournament formats that you sort of get around these spaces. We're sort of just playing to see who can be the champion and who can come out on top in this bracket format, because of course it's always been oh sure, yeah. Right. But yeah, it's interesting because it's sort of like the sort of esports kind of format is, I guess, one that's always quite interesting to play in. I guess you kind of go to like BCX, I guess, and you can sort of do sort of sets that way, but it's always kind of tough to be able to play in, I guess, so these little like more kind of, I guess, low pressure brackets. As hopefully we should have Frog coming back. But if not, I think we'll take another quick break and I'll rejoin the stream when they return. Right, there we go. Good evening. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to do our regularly scheduled Grand Finals match. Because for whatever reason, Frog has vanished. Not sure where they've gone. We could do is, I guess, just say that Kukubo won as they're currently in winners finals. But I think it would be nice if there was a last match. So we're gonna have the Secret Boss Grand Finals. Let me load in real quick. Hold on a minute. I had to go buy Dino real quick. I do not have Dino on this account.
Custom.
Here we go. I suppose there's no technical reason to keep the lobby number private. There we go. Here we are. We got a base skin Dino. Honestly, I felt a bit ripped off. We had, who was it? No Skin 15 in the tourney, playing as Chun-Li in black. Bit weird, not gonna lie. I thought I thought there was a brand going on there, but no. This is the real No Skin 56. We're out here. We're gonna do this best of 5, proper style. Nice. There we go. Honestly, pick whatever jip you want. Pick whatever jip you want. I suspect I'm lower seed, so I'll do banning. Where do we not want to go? Let's see. Do we like platforms here? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, let's go to that one. Yeah. We're getting some platforms. We got the option of just a single plat of Fortress Lions, or we can, yeah, that's the point. You can have 1, 2, or 3. Yes, exactly. We will be casting your own match, because I guess it's hybrid stream technology. We can do both. And and hopefully it'll be at least it'll be a fun way to end the stream with some Diana gaming. Yo, I hope my gaming rig can handle being both on the stream and in this intense in this intense Diana mirror match. Oh, don't go get up with an air there, but it's fine. Problem is right. What if I say exactly what I'm thinking? Oh, nice light. Oh, we don't get the double though because they come in. Ain't that a shame? Then it's gonna give away the game, right? It ain't gonna be quite it. Oh. Okay, we get the dash back too with another set. Honestly, every set is just a blessing, right? Oh, yeah, nice one. Nice side stick, but it's okay. Because oh, okay, that was really scary there. Super scary there. Oh, okay, good point. We gotta switch, right? We gotta switch. No. We both know what they want, right? But does it matter? Because Shmi manages to find the D-Sig. And secure the first stop. Oh no, that's it for me, innit? Yeah, fair enough. Nicely that recovery off the top. Classic kill confirm on this map, as it turns out. And we go back into this Blasters mirror match here. I can't believe that neutral didn't hit me. That's quite interesting. Honestly, I feel like if I was to play Blasters more, I need to use moves that aren't D-light, because there's like a whole there's a whole world of things. Whoa, hello, super high set there. Oh, that was super risky. That was super risky recovery. I could have really died for that. Oh, nice dash landing. I can't believe that still hit off the stage like that. Okay, okay. Shmi has been disarmed. Oh, not quite the neutral light though. That's all right. Oh, okay. Super scoping at the sky up there, but it's fine. But okay, the weapon does off the stage. But it's all right. We'll just come back on. Oh, that's death. Nicely light recovery. Okay, as we go down to Shmi goes down to final stops. God, what a crazy world we live in. Oh, nice dash and neutral light. Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to D-Sig because this D-Sig sucks. This D-Sig is not particularly great. We both D-lighted there, but both D-light is longer. Ooh. But that's full on stack. So what's it going to do? Ow, on the head. No, line of sight. Don't even worry about it. Damn, that's set overreached. Like, and there we go. That is game number 1. Like, of I forgot to change the title. Of Grand Finals. Let's change that title real quick. This is the secret finals. This isn't even on challenger mode. Alright. Well played by Kukubo. That was definitely some very good Blasters gameplay. Oh, we got the skin swap going on here. So we'll get the I forget my exact skin names for what they are. Let me just change. Let's go real quick. There we go. I was supposed to change skin, but I don't have any. Alright. So map banning. Where even were we last stage? I think it was we got banned the map we lost on, of course. Because clearly it was the map's fault, right? And then out of these ones, there we go. We'll once again leave the choice in for exactly how many platforms you want to go to as we move into game 2. Gotta show off the gyps. That's fair enough. No, there's a lot of good Diana skins. I forget. Did she ever get a Battle Pass skin? Maybe that like weird D&D one from a while back. But there's definitely a lot of places to go for for Diana skins you can find. I like going for that Seri, but I don't think it's never led to anything. It's just a single set. But the double spot dodge from both of us is always interesting to see. Now that's just a point of getting into plays the zones. It was got to watch these things with a nice there, but these blasters are really going at it. Oh, okay, that was a nice little combo. That was a nice little combo there. Oh, the very end of that. I didn't think that was coming through for me. No, that's not how you use that side sig. Is the grandma coming? Where is it though? Okay, I went low. We get dead. And it's not enough. Nice dare off the side to get the kill. As we're now it's yeah, why not? Oh, we get the jump. Not quite on that dare. What a shame. Oh, that very nearly hit. I mean, I guess DC got white is just a statement, right? like, what are you doing with that? Don't pick on with that yet. And we get the low. As we go into the second stops of game number 2. No, I don't get much there. That's off stage, but it's alright. As we got to find our way down versus these blasters theirs. Okay, a bit of a adventurous side off the stage. Nice there. I thought another one might be coming. Didn't quite get the dodge out in time, and just out there. Got this there. Which is what it's good for. It's what it's good for. It catches you off guard. If you're not ready with the dodge, which I wasn't. I don't quite get the follow-up off the dare, which is a shame. And nice. Okay, nice one. Oh, hello. Okay. Didn't quite get the from there. The dare is nice, but not quite enough. Do get the D-light in. Stay off the bottom of the stage. Isn't quite gonna make it. Okay. You know, I was reading. I thought it was gonna be an interesting there. You caught me off guard with the D-light, because that's the Diana classic, of course. So good mix up. I guess we'll be going into game 3, and well, I suppose potentially the third drip that we might see in our set today. But of course, good games. And I guess we'll lock back in. There we go. Oh yes, of course. I forgot about. Of course, there's a Diana Battle Pass skin. There's there's just a large quantity of Battle Passes. All right, where were we last game? It was the Dome, right? Oh, but I like the Dome. Oh, whatever. Let's just ban some more maps, I guess. I do find it funny that I guess some people will take the map banning like really calculated. Like, do you like those platforms? You know, how do you like your platforms as well? How do you like no platforms even? Though, not gonna lie, for me, it's I guess which which map I lose on gets banned. And then other than that, I don't know. Just depends what you're feeling. Just depends which I guess is also it's always what you're feeling, right? As you get in that there. Oh, okay, managed to barely sneak out the blasters there. To get caught by that. I forget which ones of those are true off the side there. I think you can get some true stuff out of the side there. I did not know that that Battlefield skin had a sound effect rework. Oh no, it doesn't. It's just a signature rework. It's kind of funny that they that they've like staunchly been they've never ever done weapon skins that do sound effects, and then they kind of started doing it for like crossovers, which people were like, oh my god, the crossovers, that's busted, right? It's pay to win, and now they're just kind of doing it for regular weapons now. Then it's just like catching up is blessed. Though I guess this is pre that. Like if they released this skin today, they would have put sound effects on it, but they just weren't ready yet for that one. Right, okay, the mashing recovery, we do find it. Isn't that lovely? We get disarmed by that big set. Oh, I was trying to stay out of range. I was trying to stay out of range of it, but of course you can't. You cannot stay out of range. Right, and you get the dodge up. Oh, not quite though. Oh. No, I've definitely got neutral signature ground pound is a filthy downer combo. No, I've definitely hit it and then lost the game as well. But that's whatever. Okay. No. But we do get the dare to cover the approach back to stage, and get the world's worst grounded dare perhaps you've ever even seen. Nice sidelight. Question is, how do we want to get down? Neutralize is an interesting move. It's kind of the fate of most neutralites in most kits. Nice sidelight recovery. Where you just kind of hit them and it's like, you know, what is the follow up here? Like, hello? Oh, never mind. What? It dropped. It dropped. Like, too much drift. That's why I gotta be I gotta play more blasters. Oh, hello. The reverse there. We go in for more. Oh. No, not quite. I was hoping to get the backgrounds into it. Feels like the success for stream right now has been D-lights on blasters. The other blasters moves are tricky to get in. Oh, sidelight. Get the reverse one. Oh, and whoopsie poopsie. And there we go. That is grand finals of the very first training room tourney. We end with 1 KO, 2 falls, and 1 accident. Good games, of course, to Kukubo for taking the very first tournament. I'll be sure to. Well, I guess this will go down in the Hall of Fame of training room tourneys. But yes, in any case, thank you for everyone for turning up this day. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. If you've not seen it before, please do join the Discord for Training Room, where I'll be putting out announcements for the next tourney. I think probably in about a month I'll try and do the next one. And of course we'll be back. We'll be bigger and we'll be better than ever. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, for now I'll sign off the stream. Thank you for coming, and I wish you a very happy rest of your evening. Peace.